Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Salam Media. I'm your host, Thaakir Dawood, and I'm going to be keeping you company from 7 right through until 9 this evening. Yes, it's been a while since we were on air, but we're back. We're back with a big show. This evening, we're going to be chatting to quite a few superstars, starting off with Salam Media's very own Selaelo Makhwidri. He's going to be telling us a bit more about what's going to be happening in the MTN8, how things are going to be breaking down. Then we're going to be chatting to a barber. Many people wonder how this fits into the world of sport. But as you know, if you look good, you feel good. And we're going to be finding out the man that made the Springboks feel good while they were out in Australia and giving them the freshest of fades so that they could overcome the All Blacks, which is something that's not done every day. After that, we're going to be chatting to Banyana head coach Desiree Ellis. She's going to be telling us a bit more about what's happening within their camp, how they're winning on and off the field in terms of sponsorship and winning the latest African Women's Cup of Nations qualifiers. They are now just one game away from qualifying for the tournament, which will be taking place next year. What an amazing feat. And I mean, this is something we could all celebrate. But for now, let's break it down. Let's chat all things MTN8 with Salam Media's very own producer, Selaelo Makhwidri. He's going to tell us what's going to be going down between Cape Town City and Mamelodi Sundowns. I mean, Sundowns have been winning everything that has been up for grabs and up for offer in South Africa. Cape Town City, on the other hand, have been putting their hand up, having tasted MTN8 success before. Can they do it again come tomorrow when they do take on the mighty Mamelodi Sundowns? Selaelo, thank you so much for joining me, coming to the party at such a late stage, such a lifesaver. Looking at things, Selaelo, what do you think will be going down in this match? Looks like we just had a bit of a technical issue there, but we will be getting to it. And for those of you that just joined, thank you so much for joining. I am your host, Thaakir Dawood, and we're going to be through right until 9 o'clock this evening. An interesting show indeed. There's so many sports that are happening around the country, so many activities. Voting is happening on Monday. And I mean, looking at things, the way things are shaping up, fans will be allowed back into stadiums very, very soon. For rugby, for that matter, we will be having fans returning to the stadium for an invitational match where there will be a team made up of some of the best players in this year's Currie Cup that will be taking on Kenya, believe it or not. And many have said that this will be run as a pilot to see how the rest of the rugby season will be able to handle things. In the football world, tomorrow the MTN8 will be having spectators. Cape Town City take on Sundowns, and I can definitely tell you that there will be spectators in the stadium. It was limited to 2,000, sorry, for that matter. But let's see how things go. And I'm sure that this could be the start of something very, very good. It looks like we finally managed to fix up the technical glitch there. Selaelo, thanks for joining me on the show this evening. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man. It's been a while. Me and you had a nice conversation about sport, about football, our favorite game. So yeah, really happy to be chatting with you again.
Now, I know you missed it, and I mean, I missed it just as much as you. But let's look at this game from a realistic and a holistic point of view. Cape Town City taking on Mamelodi Sundowns. Dude, what is your take on this game?
Yeah, I think the big fixture. None of us, actually expected Cape Town to be in the final. Sundowns probably just good in the last, few games, especially in the league. They're still unbeaten. They're having a purple patch. They're winning. They're beating everyone. So it's gonna be really nice to watch.
No, definitely. And I mean, we've seen that Coach Rulani Mokoena has been speaking quite a bit in the media, as he usually does. And he says that he expects a combination of experience of the Sundowns coaching staff to be enough to overcome Cape Town City and lift the MTN8 trophy. How much truth is in that? I mean, yes, he is excited. And yes, he is playing cards before the game, playing with the mind of the opposition. But do you think that the experience in terms of coaching from Rulani, Steve Kompela, and all the assistants will be enough to overcome Eric Tinkler and his team tomorrow?
I think experience will definitely come to the front of this game. When you look at the Sundowns coaching lineup, they have a really good coaching team. For instance, if Mamelodi who won the competition with Golden Arrows, I think in 2010, if I'm not mistaken, when they beat Ajax Cape Town. So there's depth. You have Kompela, who's been at the highest level coaching Kaizer Chiefs. You have Rolani, who also coached Orlando Pirates, also at the highest level. So, you have a really good combination between the three coaches. I think there's chemistry between them. But then on the other hand, again, you have Eric Tinkler, who, he has a really great CV, and I think he can hold his own against three of those coaches. He also reached the MTN8 Final with Orlando Pirates at some point. I think it was the 2014, 2015 season where he reached the finals of all competitions. But unfortunately, didn't win it. But with this Cape Town City squad, I think there's a nice mix of experience and youth, between the players. And also, if you look at it, about last season, Cape Town City was actually the highest, second highest scoring team after Mamelodi Sundowns. So, Sundowns does have depth. The first year of experience, they're playing really, really wonderful football. But then you can't expect that Cape Town City will just take the game lying down. They're also a team that has a lot to offer, especially going forward with the likes of Ralani and Notata going forward. So I think Cape Town City should give Mamelodi Sundowns a challenge and a run for their money.
Take the interesting take that you brought up, surprise Ralani. I mean, he's hungry for more. He just wants more success. And yes, he has become the Citizens' all-time top point scorer. Yes, he is the leading goal scorer for the Citizens, overtaking Kermit Erasmus. And I mean, look, 35 years old, 18, what more can you ask for? Such a spectacular player, such a great performance you're always going to get from him. And I think this is something that will come into effect tomorrow. And he might just be the difference between the two teams.
Yeah, definitely. I think with Cape Town City, they shouldn't have a lot to worry about going forward. I think what should be a clear factor for them is that defense. We know how well Mamelodi Sundowns forwards are. When Serena is in song, when Zwani is in song, and of course Peter Shalulile, who seems to be scoring each and every game that he plays in. So I think for Cape Town City, if they can work on their defense and strengthen that part of the game. And silence, of course, Shalulile. They should be able to contain Sundowns. I think pound for pound, they might not be able to match Sundowns, but I think if they're smart and strategic, which I know Eric Tinkler is that kind of a coach. He's a very calculating coach. He's a coach that can literally play against any team and find out the results. So I think his experience will definitely come to the fore with Sundowns. He did mention that, a lot of PSL teams when currently playing with Sundowns, the biggest mistake that they make is always trying to sit back, and let Sundowns have the ball, and that's Sundowns' strength. When they pass the ball around, when they get into those pockets, use their wingers, with the likes of Selaelo Morena, they are really dangerous. So if you can contain that aspect of their game and, just on the first whistle, catch them on the break, attack them in as much as they're attacking you, I think, they might be a bit shell-shocked, Sundowns, because, they're not used to being on the receiving end of an attack where they have to speak deep and defend. But, I'm confident for some reason in Coach Eric Tinkler's game. I feel like he has that kind of experience and depth to be able to handle Mamelodi Sundowns. But then again, Sundowns, they are very ruthless. If again you can try and play them pound for pound, if you can try, they might catch you on a break because of their speedy wingers. So if you try and play them pound for pound, that's another thing. They might catch you on a break They have really, really fast players. Shalulile, Johannes, Sereno, Lekay on his day. So they, it might seem like there's no way of stopping them, but for me, it just boils down to not affording the respect that most PSL teams seem to be affording. So when they play against Sundowns, and usually just backfires, and it works against them.
No, definitely. I mean, if you look at things, Selaelo, as well, you just broke down exactly how the play will take place. But I mean, since the last time Mamelodi Sundowns lifted the MTN8 title, they've won a CAF Champions
Yeah.
League in 2016, they've won a CAF Super Cup in 2017, and 6 DStv Premiership titles, 3 Nedbank Cup titles, and 2 Telkom knockout titles in that time period. And I mean, that is just amazing. It just shows the depth and the quality of the Sundowns team. And I mean, now I want to break it down and look at the two teams. They've had 2 previous meetings before in which Sundowns won 1 and Cape Town City won 1. There's really nothing
Yeah,
between
I
these
think
two teams.
I think the MTN8 has been the one trophy which has eluded Sundowns for a very long time. I think they have almost every trophy in their cabinet, including the African Champions League. But for some reason, I think the last time they won MTN8 was 2007, if I'm not mistaken. So they haven't won it in recent times, and I'm pretty sure they want it. They want it badly, and we know when Sundowns is under that amount of pressure, when they're expected to deliver, they're one team you can always bet on, and know that whether they are playing under pressure, whether the odds are stacked against them, they will definitely deliver because of the depth and the experience that they have in the team. I mean, you can even see with how they bring players in. With Sundowns, it's never an overhaul of players like we tend to see with Kaiser Chiefs or Orlando Pirates, where if something didn't work out the previous season, the next season you'll see a lot of players being brought in. You'll see changes in the coaching staff. They'll be like rebranding the style and the identity of the club almost every season, if not every second season. With Sundowns, there's been consistency for so many years. I think for the past 10, 15 years of they've been dominating the PSL. They've been playing with a similar style. They've been, it's like a well-oiled machine where you just minus the parts that are not working correctly and just put in newer, better parts. So that's been Sundowns for me. For the past 10 years, they've been dominating our league like we've never seen before. So we when you play against Sundowns, you need to understand, you need to afford them that respect, obviously, because if you don't, they might expose you. But then again, you need not to undermine your own capabilities. I mean, for Cape Town City, I think they were playing against Golden Arrows at the Cape Town Stadium. They scored a really, really beautiful goal. It started from the back, and it was just interchanging passes from the back right to the front until they scored. And I think that's the kind of arrogance they're going to be going to this game, where they don't sit back, give Sundowns the ball. But, if they find the ball and if they get the opportunity, they can just go for broke. I think, they come into this game as underdogs. Last season was not really the best for them. They even had to change coaches next season. But I think if they become the Cape Town City of old, the one that was coached by Bailey, where they were arrogant in how they were playing. They didn't really fear anyone, whether you're Sundowns, Chiefs, Pirates. They were like, we're Cape Town City and we are just right there with whoever we're playing against. So I think that's gonna be an advantage for them going to the stage.
No, definitely, I'm looking forward to it. And I mean, if we're looking at it, we know that Eric Tinkler has previously won the title when he was in charge of SuperSport United. Mangoba Mamelodi has also won the title when he was in charge of Golden Arrows. So tomorrow, both coaches will be hoping to join the list of phenomenal coaches that have won this title many, many times before. The likes of Stanley Shabalala, won it on 3 occasions, Kaiser Motoing, Jeff Butler, Eddie Lewis, Mushin Etrigal, and Gordon Egerson have each won the title twice. And tomorrow, either Mangoba Mamelodi or Eric Tinkler will be joining that list. But Selaelo, I mean, I think we've done enough talking. A lot of preview, a lot of action has been spoken about and what we can expect. But now I'm going to put you on the spot. I need you to tell me exactly who do you think is taking this one. Just give me the score prediction real quick. Keep it short and sweet.
Okay. Firstly, what really excites me about tomorrow's final is that the best of the best in African football, when it comes to coaches, will be on display. You have, Mamelodi, Rulani on one side, and then and Steve on the other. And then on the other side, you have Coach Ernest Sinclair. These are the powerhouses of coaching in South African football. These are the people that we also know that we can count on, and they are our pride and joy. With obviously Peter Musimani heading the pack. So I think that's a really interesting part for me. To see South Africa's best football brains, going against each other. Coming back to your question about who's going to win, as much as my heart wants Cape Town City to win this one, I've been following Sundowns a lot, and they're really ruthless. They are on song. They're playing really, really great football, and I think Sundowns might take it 2-1. It's going to be a close one.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be holding you to that, and I mean, I'm excited. I know that you are too. But look, let's save that chat. Let's keep our predictions for next week. But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back from this break, we're going to be chatting to a barber based in Australia. Yes, he woke up in the middle of the night to chat to us on Salam Media. He's been a hairdresser for the past 5 years, and his dream has finally become reality. What is his reality? He is now the hairdresser for the Springbok team when they do travel to Australia. Yep, he goes by the name of Amir Yusuf, and we're going to be chatting to him next right after this break. Stay tuned to Salam Media and don't move one bit.